Hello, 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 beautiful people. Welcome to the Manifest Miracles Masterclass. I hope you can see me and hear me. I'm looking at the chat here so that we can stay engaged and connect that way. So if you see me looking to the side, I'm either looking at the chat or I'm looking at my notes to make sure that I cover all the content. I have such an amazing training planned for you. Beyond excited. Like, I packed on as much content as can possibly be packed into a 90-minute webinar. So it really is a masterclass, like a workshop. So first of all, I want to welcome, yep, you guys can see me and hear me. Hi, welcome. We have 180 people live right now, which is so exciting, from all around the world. So introduce yourself, let us know where you're from, and I want to know why you're here. I want to know what made you excited to join. What do you want to get out of this training? So I want to reaffirm to you that you've made the right decision to show up. If you are here, that means you are ready to live a bigger life, right? You are ready to allow more manifestations with more ease. And by manifestations, I just mean more shifts within yourself and more opportunities that you can claim for yourself in your life. Welcome to all of those that completed the 7-day Manifest Miracles Challenge. This is our celebration party as well. If you didn't do the challenge, don't worry. I'm going to summarize a lot of the content that we did in the challenge and repeat it here. But if you do want to watch the challenge videos and the daily posts, you can join the Manifesting Masters Circle Facebook group, my free Facebook group. So if one of my assistants can post a link to that group below, if you're not in it, make sure you join. And I'm here to really give you practical, right? I don't want to talk about a bunch of theory. I don't want to have to tell you something that you can't implement in your life. I want you to take away doable, actionable, tangible steps that you can practice starting today to transform your life. And it really does start with transforming your mind, transforming yourself, and mastering your life. So who am I? Why the hell are you here listening to me talk about this, right? I'm Lana Schlafer. If you don't know about anything about me, I'll tell you a little bit. I am Russian originally. I came to the US when I was 12, and I lived this American dream that so many immigrants want. Some of my parents wanted that for me. I went to Berkeley. I graduated with honors. I had 5 job offers out of college. I struggled and fought my way through this time, and I was looking forward to working and actually being happy in my life. And when I started working in investment banking, and I was earning a 6-figure salary, and I had developed an eating disorder through college. And so I didn't know how to deal with my emotions. It was really painful, and it got a lot worse when I was working at Citigroup in investment banking. And so here I was, I actually had the body I wanted. I had plenty of money. I was living in San Francisco in Pacific Heights. I was traveling all over the world for work and having all these incredible opportunities. And I was miserable. Like, I realized that these things that I thought I had worked for that were supposed to make me happy didn't. And it was really disappointing. It really led me to the brink of a very dark place. And I walked away. I decided that I have to discover what makes me happy. I had $20,000 in my savings. That's it. And I walked away. I ran through that savings very quickly as I was studying yoga and personal training and the self-development stuff. And then I basically had to move back in with my parents when I was 28 years old. And so I had no money. I was completely alone. I had no hope. I thought I would be like having kids by now, you know, a millionaire and super successful. And I was somebody at 22 years old, further along than all of my friends. And yet here I was 28 years old, living with my dad and then with my mom, who were divorced, and really, really angry at life and angry at myself. And I had already been introduced to the law of attraction and to the movie The Secret and Wayne Dyer. But all of a sudden, there was just such a hard bottom for me that I realized I have nothing but time right now. And I'm already thinking thoughts that are totally not serving me. Let me see if I can transform it. And I ended up completely transforming my life through the power of my thought. Nothing was handed to me. I feel like I shifted my perspective, I shifted my mindset, and I shifted my life. I ended up going to grad school for transpersonal psychology and learning a lot of the tools that I'm going to teach you. I ended up getting engaged and getting pregnant in 2 months after getting engaged to my husband. pregnant, having an amazing home birth with my twins, starting my business where people were asking me like, what are you doing? And so I started a business teaching how to live life by design instead of by default, and doing meditations, visualization, private coaching. I started doing mastermind programs. I went to a lot of Abraham-Hick events, got in the hot seat like 5 or 6 times, had amazing conversations with Abraham, Bashar. I mean, you know it. I learned it. I've studied it. I've taken what works, and then I've been creating programs, sharing it with people, and now seeing amazing results with the people in my programs. So everything that I'm about to share with you is actually something I've done on my own and have seen hundreds of my clients do. So I'm convinced, I'm 100% certain that it works. I'm hoping to deliver to you in a way that you can apply to your life and see the results. So I already talked about some of the benefits of this webinar, but definitely we're going to identify the 3 key mindset shifts necessary to go from something feeling impossible to something feeling doable, and even like the next natural step. We're going to learn 3 practices, at least 3 practices. There are actually going to be more. You know, I love to over deliver, that you can do daily in your life to achieve more success with ease. And we're going to talk about ways that you might discover you're blocking manifestations from you. You're blocking your desires from manifesting and coming to you. I'm also going to give you an exclusive preview of the Alignment Buddy training that's a part of the Master Your Life Academy if you join by this Friday. I'm going to give you a gift for joining live. You're going to get my money tree visualization, which is amazing for shifting money blocks. So if you stay on till the end, you're going to receive that visualization. And I'm going to announce the 3 winners from the 7-Day Manifest Miracles Challenge giveaway that are going to win over $3,000 in prizes. Hey, I'm noticing that somebody's saying they can't log in. Can anybody see me? Can everybody hear me? I want to make sure that I'm coming through live to you. So let me know if you can hear me and see me. And I'm going to take a sip of water. I get so excited, you guys, to start talking fast, right? So let me see. Somebody let me know that you can see me and hear me and there are no issues. Let me see. I can't keep the stream up. Okay. Can you see me and hear me? Definitely want to make sure that everything that I'm saying gets across. Oh, let's see. Yes, no problem. Okay, great. So, do you have any objections to this? I really want to call it out, right? I really want to call it. You might have heard my story. You might have heard, other people's stories that have done the challenge or have been in my program. Or you might be skeptical of the words manifesting or miracles. I feel like whatever mindset you show up here with is how much you're going to be able to benefit from, and it's okay to have objections. I just want you to identify if you have any objections about this topic, about me, and actually call them out for yourself. Like, hey, maybe I think Lana is totally weird. Maybe this manifesting stuff works for someone but not for me. Call it out so that you're not holding on to it and allowing it to prevent you from actually receiving the benefit from this training. Because a big part of this training is going to be convincing yourself that this is possible for you, right? Words don't teach, experience teaches. So I want to tell you that this content is for somebody who wants to open the door for more support, for more resources, for more inspiration, for more ease in their life, for more abundance, for more clarity, right? For more self-realization. This isn't for somebody who wants to stay stuck, who wants to stay in the victim mentality, or who wants to keep feeling like life's got something going on, like life is happening to them and not for them, right? So if you want to actually feel empowered in your life, if you want life to be easier, more magical, more incredible, this is for you. There's so much I want to share with you guys. I hope that you have the workbook, right? My printer is out of colored ink, so I'm a little bit funny in the workbook here. But if you didn't download the workbook, make sure there's a button above the video, I believe, to download it because we're going to follow along. Okay, so I see that my helpers, my cheerleaders and my assistant are saying that you can close, if you have a lot of programs open, if you have Skype open, if you have any kind of editing programs open, go ahead and close them so that you can actually stream with the best speed that you can. Michaela is saying 10 years ago, I would have thought this is rubbish. Now it works for me. I love it, Michaela. After you live it, right, this is what I want to open with, right? I want to open with the fact that miracles are just something that hasn't happened yet, right? It just hasn't been a part of your life. It might be something that you see others living. You might see the things that Oprah is living or Richard Branson. You're like, well, for them, it's not a miracle to buy an island or to have an amazing company or to make an impact on millions of people around the world. But to me, it seems like a distant or maybe improbable or unlikely dream, right? But once it happens, it becomes a fact of life. Somebody who, Roger Bannister, broke the 4-minute mile barrier. Scientists literally thought it was impossible for a human being to run a mile in less than 4 minutes until he did it. And then lots of other people did it after him, right? So I want you to start recognizing that miracles are not for the saints. They are not for Jesus and Buddha. You don't have to be some special person born under the lucky star. Miracles are possible for anyone. Of course, defining miracles is something that we can discuss for a little bit, but really, I define miracles anything that seemed impossible to me at one time that I am now living, right? So at one time, it seemed impossible for me to have inner peace in my life. I hated myself. I hated my life. I hated my body. I hated it so much I wanted to commit suicide, right? So it seemed like crazy. Like I was more likely in my mind gonna win the lottery than to wake up and feel good about myself and my life and actually enjoy what I'm doing and how I'm living in the world. Now it's a fact of life. Now it's almost like I take it for granted, right? My body feels amazing. I have effortless health and vitality and fitness. I've had 3 kids and I feel better than ever in my body. I have amazing love in my life for myself, most importantly, with my partner, amazing relationships with my children. I mean, I run a 6-figure business with 5 team members and it's growing and evolving. And I am loving my life. That seemed like a total miracle, even a few years ago when I was first starting out my business, right? So what I can tell you is that whatever it is that you desire is only a miracle until you actually experience it in your life. And I want you to start stretching the definition of what you believe is possible for you. So break out your workbook and open up on page 2. And let's talk about the 3 mindset shifts, and then we're gonna go into detail about each one and actually do practices in each one of them, right? So the first mindset shift is that you must believe, right? And what does believe mean? In my experience, it's actually trying something and seeing that it works. You must believe, you must dare to believe at least that you can be unreasonable, that you don't have to repeat the patterns of everybody you've seen in your family and those around you and your culture. You must dare to believe that something bigger, something greater is possible for you. Second mindset shift, we're going to go into detail about all of these, is that you must recognize that everything that happens is divine, meaning it is for your good. It is happening to you. It is happening for you. It is happening in your interest, even when it doesn't appear to be so. Again, I'm going to go into details. It's okay if you have doubts or skepticism about these. I'm going to go into detail about this, but I just want to lay them out really quickly for you. The third mindset shift is what I call allow, right? Is to keep yourself in alignment and get out of the way so that you're actually allowing the things that are working on your behalf and wanting to flow into your life. It would be like opening the door to let in the things that you've been asking for. So you must dare to be unreasonable. You must recognize that everything that happens to you is divine, and keep yourself in alignment and out of the way. So let's break these down. Actually, let me tell you one example of how I increasingly became unreasonable, how I increasingly started to recognize everything as divine, and how I got out of the way and allowed the alignment to come through. One example would be with my husband, right? So relationships are what determine the quality of our life. And you can have $1 million, you can have the most amazing impact on the people in your life, but if you don't have incredible relationships in your life, you are not going to feel good. And the incredible thing about relationships, you could call it the hard thing or the amazing thing, is that they are a direct mirror of you. Everything in your life is mirroring you back to you. So when you are looking in the mirror and you are frowning, and the mirror is frowning back, and your life is frowning back at you, the action to take is not to say, bad mirror, why are you frowning at me, right? The action, oops, let me see if I can get to the chat. There we go. The action is to actually smile, then the mirror will reflect it back to you. So with my relationships, you know, my parents got divorced. They are amazing people who adored me and who really, and my brother, and who really just very loving. I mean, my parents fought tooth and nail to come to the US, and really incredible people. But they were not a great match for each other. I grew up seeing mostly relationships that I didn't want to repeat in my life. And so I, at one point, thought, wow, I'm just screwed. Like, I don't know. I can't smell a good relationship from 10 miles away or from 2 feet away. I don't even know what that means. Like, I don't know what it looks like on a day-to-day basis. And so I had to be unreasonable and dare to believe, at least have some hope that it's possible for me to have a relationship that doesn't feel like a compromise, that doesn't feel like a chain, that doesn't feel limited, that doesn't feel unsupportive or unhealthy or whatever. I started believing and practicing all the things that I'm going to tell you about, that what if I could have a relationship that got better and better with time? What if I could have somebody who didn't take anything away from my life, but only added to my life? And then every time something would happen in my relationships, and especially with my husband, right? And it still happens to this day, where something happens and I feel triggered, I feel hurt, I feel unsupported. And now I have the strong practice that we're going to talk about, where I start to recognize, this is serving me. How is this going to serve me? What is the gift in this, right? And it always ends up propelling me further to what I truly want. Think of a trampoline. The harder you go down, the higher you're going to shoot up. That's exactly what contrast does in my life, in my relationships, right? And then a lot of times I have to get out of the way. The other day, I was really overwhelmed, and I was kind of, you know, grumpy. And I was telling my husband, God, you don't even tell me you love me or kiss me. And he goes, oh my God, are you like totally just ignoring what I've been doing? This morning, he listed 3 things. This morning, I woke up and told you how beautiful you are, and I gave you a kiss. And then in the afternoon, I did this, and in the evening. And he's like, why do you want me to give you more love when you can't even receive the love I'm already giving you? I was like, whoo, I love this man. I love this man so much. It was like, yeah, I was not allowing it in. I had an upper limit with love. I had an upper limit with how much support I can receive. And so even though it was flowing in, I could not see it and recognize it and actually enjoy it and feel like I am loved and supported, right? So this is the, let's see. Are you guys still having problems? No, I think we're good. So I want you to practice the first step. We're actually going to do it live together. Now, you can do it in the workbook, or I recommend, and you can type in the workbook, by the way, or I recommend that you actually type it up over here so I can see your responses and be able to respond to them. So I'm asking you to think about the things in your life that at one point felt impossible. I want you to recognize that you've already lived a lot of miracles, and that you already have been unreasonable in some way. If you're not living an exact replica of your parents' lives or the lives of those around you when you were growing up, you had already had to have been unreasonable and manifested some amazing things. So I want you to focus and pick 2 or 3 of the amazing things that you have created in your life that you might already be taken for granted. Maybe it was that you were really sick as a child and great health seemed totally impossible. Maybe that you grew up in poverty and now you have a stable income and a home and whatever. Maybe you didn't feel very loved or valued as a child, and now you have friends or a partner in your life who really reflects that back to you. Maybe you didn't have happiness and the peace within yourself, the same thing that I said, and now you feel so much more self-loving, and you're able to actually hold your own hand through the challenges and amazing successes in your life, right? Think about the things that at one point seemed impossible that you are now living. And share them with me in the chat, as well as write them in your workbook. And in the workbook, I actually recommend that you do this after we get off the webinar. You actually write out a long list, because this whole manifesting business is about convincing yourself that you already know how to do it, that you are capable, that this is for you, that life is happening for you, so that you can actually allow life to reflect that back to you. Let's see. I'm going to see what you guys are saying. Yes, you guys, there will be a replay that you could watch again, but I do hope that you stay on live, because I'm going to give you a gift for staying on with me. By the way, how am I doing? Like, is this benefiting you already? I want to make sure that what I'm talking about, what I've prepared, is actually serving you. So if you have questions, I'm definitely going to save them for the end, and you actually have a page in your workbook. It's page 7 to take notes. But if stuff comes up along the way, go ahead and comment and let me know. Some people cannot access my site. Okay, let me type my assistant. To watch the video. I'm just typing up a little note. You know, technical issues are going to happen. Possibly if you're getting booted off, you will have this as a replay. I think that some people are, maybe we just have so many people joining live that my website is cutting out, you know, and we're doing our best here. Let's see. Oh, wow, the site is crashing from too many people. Okay. I think that we are going to need to upgrade my server so that we can have more people. So if you get booted out, just come back, you guys. I'm going to type that up. If you got booted out, come back. And we'll do our best. Great. Oh, yeah. So there's actually a link on YouTube that apparently you can watch it as well. All right. So your miracles are coming in, and I want to read off and hear some of them. One of the things I really want to talk about is that in order to convince yourself that it's possible for you and that this is your new normal, you've got to surround yourself. What you feed your mind is what you're going to, you know, you are what you eat. It's like you are what you take in. So a part of what I'm presenting for you here and in my free Facebook group, and certainly in the Master Your Life Academy and with an alignment buddy, is that you get to practice this way of thinking consistently so that it becomes your new normal. And at that point, it's effortless. It's automatic. You give me a great situation, I'm able to celebrate it and receive it. You give me a bad situation, I'm able to recognize the gift. It becomes easier and easier with practice. So let's see. Oh, Tita is saying, I was told that I would be in a wheelchair within 2 years. I am now walking with no pain and no help. Tita, that is amazing. That is incredible. See, so here you were, maybe some way thinking, hey, I want to manifest miracles in my life. And you are already living the miracles that maybe at some point seemed impossible to you or to other people. Let me see what else you're saying. Danielle saying, I never thought I could live and feel purpose after many years of just getting through the days. God, I know that feeling. After this week, I have more clarity on my purpose, which is so exciting. Yes, 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 yes. So feeding your mind on a daily basis, the sense of possibility, like literally, this is why I am in business. This is why I created the Master Your Life Academy, so that the participants have a way, you have a way of feeding your mind daily, the things that are up-leveling you, so that you might be here, the things you want are here, and every day you up-level until this is your new normal. So, I hope you wrote down the miracles you've already lived. I'm getting some of them here. Arun said, never thought about owning an iPhone. That's funny. Stephanie saying, after being moved from home to home all my life and not feeling like I belong anywhere, I finally manifested my own dream apartment. Stephanie, I know the feeling. I have not lived anywhere for more than 3 years since I was 12. So I realized that I kept looking for these external things to give me a sense of home. You know what? I cried at one of the testimonials I got in the Master Your Life Academy. Actually, a few people have said it. But over and over, people have said, I've found a home within myself. That that chokes me up, because for so long I looked for people and circumstances and situations to fill the void I felt, because of being an immigrant, because of moving around, because of not having money, because I felt like I didn't have a home that felt like a home to me, until I realized that's an inside job. And once I've created that home, now I have magnificent actual houses and family and a sense of home, but it really had to be something that I created within myself first. So let's talk about the next exercise that I want you to do. Because the second way that you can allow yourself to be unreasonable is to dream bigger. And I'm going to tell you right off the bat that most people make this goals and intentions and visions business way too serious, way too intense, and they actually block the manifestations from coming in. When you write something like, I have to have this, I need this in order to feel okay, there's so much pressure, there's so much resistance that is already laced in the vision. So what I'm going to encourage for you to do today, and type here, are your fun dreams. So let's say I am, let's say like when I was 28, 29 years old. I had no partner. I knew I wanted kids. I knew I wanted great love in my life. I knew I wanted to be abundant. I knew I wanted to feel on purpose. And if I would have listed any of those dreams, I had so much resistance to them because they felt so far away and impossible. And I felt so in despair that I'm not there yet. I was judging myself and my life so much that I had to get around it by thinking about lighter dreams. So I would think about stuff like, oh my God, wouldn't it be fun if someday I lived by the beach and I could go swimming anytime I wanted to? And that feeling gave me such a feeling of abundance that it included all my other dreams, that I would have the time, the freedom, the ability to go for a swim anytime I want in a warm water, which, by the way, I live half a block away from the bay and a block away from the beach now, right? So I've manifested those things. But I wasn't, because I focused on putting pressure on myself to have these certain goals. So if your goal would be to have children, for example, or to have an amazing partner or something that feels really far away, I would pick one moment that feels absolutely warm and amazing, and like it makes you smile in your heart. So you might imagine playing peekaboo with your baby, like peekaboo. You might imagine, taking a bath with your partner. It literally is finding something light, something fun, but something that produces positive emotion in you. So let me know a couple of your big dreams, like owning a private island. How fun would it be if I had a private island and I could just do this workshop on my island and I would be streaming live? Some of you would be invited. Do you know what I mean? Pick something that actually lights you up and gets you excited, right? That's something we do in the academies. I have you walk away from the pressure of your dream and your vision, because certainly you're not going to get there from there. The more you judge yourself how you're not there, the further you're keeping yourself from your dream and from your vision. So let me see what you guys are saying. Bianca's saying, I have been feeling that dreaming big is not okay for me, right? So why were you feeling that way, Bianca? Was it because you were taught, hey, don't reach for the stars type of thing? I know I was taught that as a child. I actually distinctly remember my mom in total frustration with me because I wanted to do all the fun stuff in the games when I was really young, saying, what, you think life is just one big adventure? Like, you gotta buck up and learn to deal with stuff, because life is a struggle. Like, this is the mentality I grew up with, which is one of the reasons I'm such a great teacher of it now to you, right? Not only did I go to grad school and go to all these trainings and workshops and have all these certificates, but I actually have the background of the exact opposite of what I teach. So I know how to go from not having it to having it. So I can see where you are along that journey and be able to call you out on it and help you move the needle in the direction of what you want. Let's see. Michaela is saying, whenever I want, I can head south and hang out on my yacht in Barcelona. I love Barcelona. Look me up and come on down. I'm there, girl. I'm going to bring some champagne. Leah singing in a band. You guys, singing is something that's been such an amazing manifesting tool for me. And I am not a good singer. But when I imagine okay, I'm obviously teaching this stuff to you. I've been on some big stages and it can be a little scary, but when I imagine myself just standing on stage and singing, even though that would probably never happen in real life, because like I said, I have no training or whatever, there's something that really happens in me. Like I imagine this morning as I was preparing, I was listening to Beyonce's song Halo, and it gives me goosebumps. I was just thinking, oh, what would it be like to be Beyonce and stand on stage and see thousands upon thousands of people and the lights and be singing a song that literally channels the divine into people's hearts. And this is how I want to feel when I am talking to you right now. So here I am thinking about singing Halo as Beyonce on stage, but I'm actually impacting my life powerfully now, today, as I'm sharing with you about manifesting miracles and talking about my programs and all of that with you. So is that clear? Is that helpful? Winning a Grammy for singing. I love it. I love it. Yes, you guys have the workbook. You can write in the workbook. You can also type. It's a fillable PDF, or you can just type here in the comment and you can fill out the workbook later. So, wow, a lot of people wanting to sing. That's so interesting, fascinating that this example resonates. There's a lot of things that are presumed in that one unreasonable dream, right? If I, in my head, imagine that I'm standing on stage and I'm feeling totally clear, like a channel, totally badass and self-confident and worthy and beautiful and talented. There's a lot of things that are presumed in that vision that I want to manifest along the way, but I don't have to focus on any one of them. I'm letting, so Michael Beckwith has this great saying, you are pushed by pain until you're pulled by a vision. I imagine a lot of you like me were pushed by pain. I really, really didn't want to end up how a lot of the people I grew up with, right? Until I became pulled by a vision. And that's a much more enjoyable way to go through life and to grow through life. That is exactly what I teach in the Master Your Life Academy. All right. Let's move to the next portion. Number 2, recognizing everything is divine. This is the block, right? This is how most people cut off circulation. How they cut off manifestations. Literally, the manifestation could be coming in, it's like on its way to you, and you turn it around. And that's because everything that you want, everything that you get is either what you want or what's in the way of what you want. So imagine like you showed up in a restaurant, right? And you ordered whatever it is that you want. Or let's say you ordered this amazing, delicious meal with a 5-star chef and all of this incredible stuff. And you already know it's being made, right? And so you just need to relax and stay in the restaurant, you know, not leave, and allow it to come to you. But so many people, if it's taking too long, they're like, where's my food? It's almost like be the equivalent of marching up in the kitchen and yelling at the chef, be like, I don't really believe you're making me the food right now. It's like, how excited is the chef going to be to deliver it to you? Probably going to want to spit in your food by the time you made a stink, right? You would be the equivalent of you bothering the waiter. It would be the equivalent of you going in and opening the oven 20 times and saying, is it done? Is it done? Is it done? That only lets off the heat, right? It only is going to take longer to cook and probably not at the right temperature. So developing the ability to recognize that if something is going great, it is my priority, my work to really celebrate it, bask in it, amplify it, celebrate it in some way, right? Magnify it. And if it's not going well, it is my work to look for the gift until I see it. And then you are spending your entire life unwrapping gifts, unwrapping presents in your life. You have to be present to unwrap the presents, which is a huge, an important step that we're going to talk about in the 3rd key, right? So, how do you actually do this, right? This is the number. This is maybe the toughest thing for me to teach in 30 minutes or in 90 minutes because it's an active practice. And until it's actually happening in your life and you have real questions about it, when you have your real in real time aha, it's really tricky for me to just spew off a bunch of strategies that someday would be good for you. It'd be like me telling you, oh, here's how you dance the cha-cha. You put your right foot here, you da-da-da, and you're listening and you have no way of really perceiving it until you are in dance class with a partner and they're standing there and you're like, okay, move this foot back, move this foot forward. Does that make sense? So let's practice it real quick with a powerful exercise that is in the Master Your Life Academy. It's called the What I Do Want and What I Don't Want. The reason this is helpful is because when you recognize that when you have more of what you don't want show up, it is an opportunity for you to refocus. It is an opportunity for you to actually use, sift and sort, say, I like this part, I don't like this part, and focus on the part that you like. So, for example, when I was creating the Master Your Life Academy, I did this exercise, and I have a little sample in the workbook, because I thought about, well, of course I want people to love the Academy and join and benefit from it. But until I did the don't part of it is when I realized what I really do want. And then I focused on it. So I realized I really don't want them to feel overwhelmed. I really don't want them to walk away, obviously, without massive shifts. I really don't want them to feel alone or to feel like they're not welcome. There's lots of things I didn't want. So then I was able to write out the things that I do want. So I want you to pick a topic that in your life currently is not going so great, right? Could be money, could be relationships, could be health, could be whatever. And I want you to take a moment and write down what I don't want, right? So on one of the sides, write out, I don't want to feel poor. I don't want to feel sick. I don't want to feel overwhelmed. I don't want to feel whatever it is. Just pick one topic and write out all of the things that you don't want. And then I want you to type a few up here so that I can see what you are doing and what you're focusing on. I'm so glad you guys love my analogies. Yes. Beautiful. So tell me what you don't want. So Rachel's saying focusing on my career. You might say, I don't want to do the things that I'm not happy doing as a part of my career, right? I don't want to feel stuck. I don't want to work hard. I don't want, you just focus on the things that you do. I don't want to fail in my own business. Beautiful. You guys, a big part of how I teach this stuff versus most master law of attraction teachers is that I'm not afraid of negative emotions. I feel like they're sacred and beautiful and necessary. It would be like, touching a hot stove. You want to know it's hot so you don't touch it again. You know what I mean? It's life informing you. This is a red light, right? Don't go now. You're going to get burnt. You're going to get run over. And your emotional guidance system is a huge part of what we focus on in the Master Your Life Academy, is connecting with your emotional guidance and being able to recognize within yourself that inner GPS, right? God positioning system, as some people call it. When it's telling you green light, when it's telling you yellow light, when it's telling you red light. I don't want to feel anxious about money. Good. Get deeper. What makes you feel anxious about money? What is it that you don't want? Right? I don't want to feel like I have no choice. I don't want to feel limited. I don't want to work for someone else. Somebody's saying, I don't want to worry all the time. So I think that most of you have no problem focusing on what you don't want. So then I want you to literally take what you wrote on don't want side and write the exact opposite of it on what you do want, right? So when you ask most people, what do you want? Why do you want what you want? They're like, well, I just want it. I just want to feel good. I want to be rich. But when I ask them, what don't you want? And they write out 20 very, very specific things that they don't want, it's much easier to then get really specific about what you do want. And then I'll tell you what to do with what you do want side. So now I want you to take exactly the opposite. So somebody said, I don't want to feel financial lack. The opposite of that would be, I want to feel truly abundant. I don't want to feel restricted. I want to feel freedom. Okay. Go a little deeper if you can. What does the freedom mean to you? I want to feel playful. I want to have fun. I want to feel like everything that I want comes to me easily. Shari saying, I don't want to feel like I'm faking it every day. So it'll be like, I want to feel like my authentic self comes out to play every day. And I get to discover all the amazing ways that I am incredible. My authentic self, right? Welcome, LM, saying that's taken 40 minutes to get on. You guys, we have so many people trying to join live. I guess the server's crashing. I apologize for that. It's kind of something I haven't faced before, so we'll have to make sure for future webinars that we do something to make sure everybody can get on. So I apologize if you tried to get on live and couldn't catch all of it. So are you having fun writing the opposite of what you don't want and focusing on what you do want, and drive deeper? I want to be a successful artist. Good. What does that mean? What does that mean? I want to have my work be like inspiring millions. I want to look at my artwork, whatever it is, and I want to tear up with emotion. You know, this is something that I focus on with the Master Your Life Academy. Like, I'm gonna cry. Like, I can go there emotionally so quickly. I can feel it, I can see it. And now obviously I have already hundreds of people who have gone through the academy. So it's already proven to me. But before I even had the first participant, I thought, I want them to feel so at home. I want them to feel like anything is possible for them. I want them to feel so welcomed, so appreciated, so loved. I want them to feel so supported, so inspired, so like, wow, there's so many tools that they know how to move through anything. You know what I mean? I will just go right there. So once you write out what you do want, I want you to take this sheet and fold it in half, and you can even rip off, if you're doing it on writing, and you can rip off the part that you don't want, right? So boom, boom, boom. And now you have your list of what you do want to read every day and focus on, right? And there's lots of ways that I teach you how to focus on it in the Master Your Life Academy, but the one easy way would be just to read it literally every day. If every day for the next few days you read it every morning and every night at the time that you brush your teeth or whatever, I promise you, you will see shifts in your life. Does that make sense? Let me know. Is this useful? Are you guys digging this training? If you are, please share it with your friends, right? If you get to the end of this training, you're like, wow, this was amazing, please share. All right, are we ready to move on to key number 3 and key practice number 3? Yay, I'm so glad you guys are loving the training and it makes sense and it's beneficial. Yes, 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 yes. I would totally turn on music and do a happy dance, but YouTube will delete this video because it doesn't like me using certain music. So you'll just have to pretend that I'm bumping and grinding to something. All right, number 3, go to page 6 in your workbook. The hardest key or mindset practice to describe, because it is so practical, but I'm going to do my best to actually do it, right? So I call it allowing practice. And in the Master Your Life Academy, the first month is a foundation course, and they're 4 weeks. And the first week is assessment and really recognizing where you are and what you want. The second week is focused all on allowing, to really develop your ability to open the door and allow the things that you've asked for to come in. It would be like developing your ability to enjoy your time in the restaurant while the chef is making you the meal you ordered, right? Instead of getting mad at the chef, opening the oven 20 times, or straight up leaving the restaurant, which is what so many people do. Like, here it is being made for them, and they just get out. And then the waiter brings out this amazing meal that they made for them, and you're gone, right? Don't do that. So allowing practice, right? And by the way, I don't like the word patience because I am the least patient person probably in the entire world. I believe in knowing in knowing the perfect timing of everything. I believe in entertaining myself as things are coming. I believe in having fun along the way. I believe in enjoying the journey so that I'm not rushing to get to the destination. So many people think, oh, well, I want to get this money so that I can blah, 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 or I want to have this partner. And it would be the equivalent of you saying, well, I want to go on this vacation so that I can check off being in Barcelona off my list. Well, boo-hoo. You can just check it off your list right now without ever having visited. Don't you want to actually enjoy the trip, sit on the airplane, get upgraded to first class, have a glass of champagne, look over the entire city when you get there, have the amazing Spanish food and Spanish wine, and have amazing conversations and go dancing at night? You don't want it to end. You don't want the journey to end because you're having such an amazing time along the way. This is life mastery, right? Okay, let's see. What are you guys saying? You guys are amazing. Thank you for the love. I'm so glad this is so helpful. So I break it down. This isn't a very clear division into passive ways and active ways, right? But basically, what I'm here to remind you that if you can develop an ability to feel good, and by good I mean in general well-being for most of your life, you don't have to be perfect at it, then it's going to be like the tide that lifts all boats. Instead of going into your life and saying, well, this boat is sinking, let me pull it up. And this boat is sinking, let me get that anchor out, right? That's what most people do. They're like, I got to uproot all the negative beliefs I have on this. I got to work hard to eradicate them. You can get some results with that. That seems like a heck of a lot of work for not a hell of a lot of reward for me. So imagine actually bringing in the tide. You bring in the tide, the boats lift. All the boats lift. All the boats that matter to you lift, right? So that's what alignment is. That's what allowing practices are. So let's, it's a practice. I want to make sure that I say that it gets easier with time. It will be the equivalent of you showing up in the gym and me saying, all right, do a squat with 200 pounds and you've never done any weight training. It will crush you. Right? But if you do 5 pounds one day and next week 10 pounds, and before you know it, you're going to do a squat with 200 pounds and it will feel good, right? So it is a practice that gets easier and easier and easier. Again, can't emphasize enough the value of being in a program where this is the focus, right? So many people who have joined the Master Life Academy, not even weeks into it, say, I've already received the full value of, if they invested and they paid the full amount, they're like, I've got so many financial manifestations that's come in. I've got so many improvements in my life in areas that I felt so stuck in. It will happen if you show up. It is about showing up in your life and giving yourself permission to do it. So let's talk about a few passive ways. And I want you to write them down and think about other ways that you can add as you're hearing other people talk about. So meditation is obviously a great way for a lot of people, not a great way for lots of other people. If you have any sexual or body trauma and you are used to disconnecting from your body, meditation is not a great thing, right? Don't worry, you can have everything you want without meditating a day in your life. I happen to love certain types of meditation. There's so many types of meditation, right? I'm just gonna list a bunch off the top. You can watch your breath. There's mantra meditation, fire meditation, unguided meditations, totally guided meditations or visualizations, right? I know I'm forgetting something. Movement meditation, which is what I call creative expression, walking meditation, God, there's like a gazillion ways. And I call them centering practices, really. It's like, what's going to get you back to center, right? If meditation isn't your thing, you could think about guided imagery. It could either be with a recording, right? In the Academy, we have over a dozen guided visualizations where I actually take you on a journey. You literally just realize, it'd be like a massage, right? You don't have to massage yourself. I show up and I give you a rub down and you feel amazing after and you attract more amazingness into your life. But also massage is a great way actually to passively allow yourself to feel good. Sex, for most people, is a great way. Being in nature, that's a huge one, right? Putting your toes in the sand or listening to the birds. There are literally infinite ways. And the reason I call them passive is that you don't have to do anything, right? The active ways of allowing, I feel like, are a little bit more action-oriented or something that requires for you to be a little bit more present and engaged. But the passive ones is you literally lean back and allow. And it is a practice. For so many people, they don't know how to slow down. They've never been taught that. They've never given themselves permission. Things get harder, they spin faster. And they get harder and they spin faster. And then eventually they get a bunch of diseases and whatever. And then they realize, wait a minute, this isn't working, right? So allowing yourself to unwind in some way, I promise you that this is going to have results that are far beyond the actual relaxation that you experience in the moment. It is like you opening the door to the things that you want to flow in. Okay, let's see what you guys are saying about visualizations, meditations, fire. Yes, just watching fire. That's something that I teach in the Academy. is we have a fire meditation where I have fire, and then I walk you through how to actually just dance with the fire and manifest what you want. What if everything you want was so easy? All you had to do is to watch a flame for 5 minutes. Would you do it? Question to ask yourself. All right, so you're saying beach. Yes, something about water for me. I don't care what, like taking a shower, taking a bath, going to the beach, drinking water. I mean, water for me is so such a big part of something that soothes me, looking at the ocean. I could put on a video on YouTube and look at the ocean and just be like, oh, there's just something magical about it. And for other people, it's something else. It's forest, it's, gardening. There's so many ways to be in nature. So let's talk about more active ways. There's so much I want to cover, you guys. I'm just gonna keep it along. I want to make sure that I leave room for questions at the end. So more active ways. Movement. I know how to move my body to shift my energy. If I'm feeling really frustrated with something, I will typically go work out or do some yoga or put on a song and dance. It shifts my vibration. It makes me feel good. And the more that I do it, the more consistent I know that I can count on it. Journaling for a lot of people. So I break it down into 4 types of visioning, right? In the Master Your Life Academy. You have the guided imagery that I mentioned, that's more passive. You have the written visioning, which there are lots of ways to do it. And I would love to get into it, but you got to join the academy to get into it. I have a whole week on visioning and spoken, on written and spoken visioning there. There's so many amazing, easy practices that you could do in your life to shift your point of attraction and actually step into the version of you that you want to be and receive the things that you want. Working with an alignment buddy. I'm going to talk a little bit about what is an alignment buddy and how you can have one and what that means and what results you can experience. Hopefully we'll have time for that. Because working with them, you could literally have a practice of connecting with your alignment buddy a few times a week. And that could be one of your mechanisms of allowing everything you want to flow in, everything that matters to you in the moment, right? So write down at least a few of these. And what I'm asking you to commit to today is to practice at least one of these ways each day, at least one. And if you really want to commit to yourself, click below to learn more about the Master Your Life Academy, and you guys can share a link. My assistant could share a link with you if you want to learn more, because if you commit to that, I will do the work for you. Well, that's not true. I won't do the work for you, but I will do my damnedest to help you do that work, and hopefully it won't feel like work. It will feel like play. So I don't know why exactly you showed up here today. Maybe you're tired of feeling stuck. Maybe you're just so ready for more. You're ready to master law of attraction. Maybe you're just ready for unconditional happiness and self-worth and love, and you can taste it, right? If you are here, you are a vibrational match to it. Otherwise, you would not be listening to me saying this. If you are here, you are ready for this, right? So if you're finding this stuff that I'm sharing in this masterclass helpful to you, then you got to check out my program, because I go so much deeper into it. So let me just run really quickly through the Master Your Life Academy, and then we'll go towards a little bit more practices that you can do to step into this mindset. So Master Your Life Academy, or MYLA for short, is specifically designed so that you can, I'm just looking at my notes because I already wrote awesome stuff, for tools for deliberately creating in your life. Again, so that life isn't happening to you, it's happening for you. You feel like you're in the driver's seat of your life and you're ready to go for one heck of a ride. If you're ready to find a new inner stability so that circumstances aren't impacting you, it's like a ping pong ball, or a leaf in the wind. The wind blows this way, you go that way. The wind blows that way, you go this way. What if you could actually have your own center that you could always come to? So no matter what was happening out on the outside of your life, inside you felt at home, you felt worthy, you felt good, you felt successful, you felt loved and loving, you felt abundant, right? if you're ready to manifest your biggest dreams and dream up even bigger visions, if you want to look better, feel better, live better, master your life better, then obviously the Master Your Life Academy is for you. And here's how it works. I just want to run through it really quickly. Once you join now, if you join now before Friday, tomorrow, and I can't remember what time it is, I want to say 11 p.m. or 12 p.m. Pacific time. Basically, if you join sometime on Friday, you are going to get a personal alignment buddy match. So I'm going to actually take 2 of you that join, match you up based on a bunch of criteria. That is my secret, but you'll have to fill out a survey with your time zones, with the kind of things you're looking for, with how you prefer to communicate. If you prefer to do it via written communication or spoken communication, Skype or phone or whatever. Anyway, you have a match, and I'm going to give you my exclusive alignment buddy training, right? Now, I'll talk a little bit more about that. But anyways, you're going to start on the foundation course. When you join February 1st, well, before that, I'm going to welcome you to our private Facebook group. And on February 1st, you're going to start the foundation course. Every single week, I'm going to give you new materials in the foundation course that are going to completely blow your mind. And I can say that confidently because they have for everybody who's ever done it. It blows my mind. Like, I am amazed at what was created through me, really. I was a willing participant in it, and I practiced it so that it actually created the impact in my life. But it's such a joy for me to share that with you. Then you're gonna, after you finish the foundation course, you're gonna open up all of the archived courses, all of the visualizations, all of the archived Q&A calls that we've ever had, and there's dozens of them. And also, we always do a live course every month. So March is the self-love course, which is really powerful. Always people have such incredible breakthroughs with stuff that isn't self-love, but self-love is the foundation for everything good in your life. That has to be the foundation, self-worth and self-love. Right? And so we do a challenge in our Facebook group to keep you focused on it every day of that month. We do have 2 Q&A calls every month. I already mentioned visualizations. The community is amazing. I'm going to pull up 2 people who have gone through the academy, one who's been in it for over a year, another one who just joined like 7 months ago, and just to hear the results that she's experienced. Or maybe it's been a year now. I don't know. You have lifetime access to everything. It is a lot of materials, and you don't have to use them up in any amount of time. You can take your time to do everything at your own pace, right? That's important. I'm going to keep reminding you of that. So obviously, I've personally used this stuff to achieve, you know, we manifested not only our dream home at the top of a hill overlooking the ocean, but we manifested getting paid $40,000 to live in it. That's a whole other story that you can watch on my blog. I obviously manifested an amazing home birth with my twins and having them be born 33 hours apart at home. And I had an unassisted birth with my last son. I mean, you know, there's so many tangible manifestations that I could point to you. But really, it's that I actually feel like the badass, amazing, manifesting maven in my life. And I actually love myself. That's the greatest manifestation, right? There's lots of things that I've already achieved that are, I'm writing a book now. I'm sure it'll be some awesome bestseller and all that. But as exciting as those things are, the fact that I'm at the peak of my life every day. Like, that's the manifestation, right? So most people will say, Lana, that sounds awesome. Of course I want in. But you may not have joined already, or have you? If you join the academy while we're on this call, I'm going to personally call you up to thank you, because I want to reward you for acting fast, right? So join now, click the button below. But also, most objections that people have are time and money. They're like, I don't have the money to do this. And so many people have the money I broke it down into 10 payments, right? So you only need $225 to get started, right? They'll be like, well, of course I have money, but that's my savings. I'm saving that for this and that and that, or I'm going to invest in a business course, or I'm going to da-da-da-da, which is totally fine. I'm not saying anything about that, but all I can tell you is, can you afford to keep waiting? Can you afford to get sick and spend that money on trying to get better? Can you afford on manifesting disasters in your life, right? And the same thing with time. People will be like, well, it takes time. You say that it's 2 to 3 hours a week for the foundation course. For the foundation course, it's 2 to 3 hours a week in February. Then after that, it's just a few hours each month, right? To maintain it, basically. But they're like, I don't have time for this. And I'm like, do you have time to be miserable? Do you have time to be hating yourself? Do you have time to be waking up and thinking, God, I want to go back to bed. I don't want to live this life. Because if you are ready to actually stop with these excuses and invest in yourself, I'm presenting the best offer that I've ever heard of. Otherwise, I obviously wouldn't be offering it to you to do it. You don't need me to achieve all that stuff. Let's be clear. You don't need me. You can create all of this on your own. I had to learn this on my own. By the way, I have invested into tons of courses and trainings. I am just giving you a shortcut. So you can take lots of time to do this on your own, or you can take the short, fast route there. And the program costs as much as it does so that you have some skin in the game, so that you actually invest in yourself. I've given my program away for free to people and at discounts, and I promise you, those were not the people that saw the biggest shifts. It's the people for whom it was kind of like a stretch. They were worried or nervous. It's the people that actually showed up and did the work and then ended up seeing the benefits, right? So it gets better than that, though. I'm giving you a full money back guarantee, right? So you can join for 30 days. You can do the practices. And if you don't actually see the shifts in your life, I will refund you, right? You can email my team, info@LanaSchlafer. I will refund you. I've had like 5 refunds in this program in my entire time that I've had it, which is 3 years, I believe. So it's very rare, but there are a few times when somebody said, you know what, this wasn't for me, or a lot of times it's just circumstances came up in their life, right? But that's so rare that somebody will actually not, I think it's like, if they don't like my style. So I'm giving you a chance to get to know me. If you like my style, you're going to benefit from the program, but you have that 30-day money back guarantee. But even more than that, I'm throwing in 2 bonus calls in February. So instead of just 2, we have 4. We literally have 1 each week. If you join by Friday, you get an alignment buddy match and the exclusive training. And so I want to mention a few things about the alignment buddy work, right? So many people will be like, well, I'll just call up a friend and I'll just do this work with them. If you don't have skin in the game, if you don't have certain practices that I talk about in the Alignment Buddy training, if you don't have a dedicated time to connect with this person every week, then how useful is it really going to be? I have done all of the work for you. I'm already matching you up with a person who's ready and willing and like excited about it. I've already matched you with somebody who is close to your time zone. They're already doing the practices in the Master Your Life Academy. You already have these training in the Alignment Buddy training to actually say, okay, today we're doing this and tomorrow we're doing that and next week we're doing that. Do you know what I mean? So you can do this on your own for sure. I'm just giving you an easy, fun, and quick, proven effective method to do it. So reasons to join now. Not sure when I'm going to open doors again. I might open doors later on this year, maybe sometime this summer. I might not. Have no idea if I'll include any of these bonuses. It takes me a lot of time to match you with an alignment buddy. So that is a very generous bonus, which is why it's an early bird bonus. You got to join by Friday. And also, I'm not sure if I'll offer payment plans. I've been, again, tried to make it as affordable as possible to everybody to join. You can pay in full and save a bunch of money. I think you save $250 or $275, or you can have the more affordable payment plan. So this is time sensitive, you guys. Doors close for this program on January 31st. At midnight, January 31st, it is closed because we are already starting on February 1st. So you got to get in or hold your breath. You decide. So what else do I want to tell you? Question and answers. I'm gonna do some Q&A. Then I'm going to announce the winners from the Manifest Your Miracles Challenge. And then I'm going to give you the link for your money meditation gift. But I want to know what questions you have. Actually, before we do questions, why don't I have a couple of my participants show up and just tell you from there, because it's great that I can toot my own horn and tell you about the program, but they actually have real people that can talk about, and I want them to talk about some of the objections that they had to join. So let's pull up Jen. Let me see if I can present you, and you can unmute yourself, Jen Woods, and share a little bit about your story. You can unmute yourself and show your video, which I don't think I can do for you.
Can you see me?
Yes, I can see you and I can hear you.
Yay!
Welcome. So guys, this is Jen. Jen, when did you join the Academy? Was it in June?
A year ago.
It was
in January.
It was a January. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And like your story is just mind-blowing, because this is what happens a lot of times. You probably can't even go back and remember where you were, right? Like, it's so hard because now the way you live, it's so normal. But if you can for a moment, go back and think about what were the concerns that you had about your own life and about the program. What were your hopes and dreams, and what's happened since, and where you are now?
First of all, hi, everybody. There's a lot of people saying hi to me. So yay, that feels really awesome. Hello. I'm happy to be here. If I can think back to where I was very disillusioned. I'd had a lot of personal challenges where I couldn't continue with the career path I thought, was good for me. And I had been following you for a couple of years from B School, and, we were friends on Facebook. And when the opportunity arose, when I saw that your group, actually, I didn't even know your group was opening. I just saw a post of yours. And then I thought, well, let me just check and see what she's got going on. And I popped in and your doors were open. And I just knew at that moment, like, this is what I needed to do to figure out how to align myself and to figure out what I needed to do for myself. I was unhappy. I had been depressed and had suicidal thoughts in the past. I wasn't too far, I was better by that time, but, still really melancholy all the time, just kind of, wandering around the house, staring at things and not feeling very motivated to do anything. And,
well, and I don't want to brush over that, because what was so beautiful about you, and it's a testament to the whole community, not just me, is that you actually shared that at the beginning. And you said, listen,
mm-hmm.
I don't know, y'all are posting about this happy stuff, and this is where I'm at. And
right.
Yeah. It was a big step, because it wasn't
mm-hmm.
all in your head then. And like, I got to hide it. And, I know that this is supposed to be a program where we share about awesome stuff, but I really encourage people to show up where they are and give themselves permission to be loved up and love themselves where they are, so that you can move into some of the other things. So I don't want to minimize, like, not everybody who signs up is already a millionaire and is already super happy and is already, yeah.
Right. Yeah, I was looking at this back surgery that I was going to have and thinking, oh my gosh, this is a huge surgery. I don't want to do this. But, I couldn't work at the time, and, everything was up in the air. And then
so you couldn't work and you still invested the money into it. Like, what made you pull the trigger? Because most people be like, well, I don't have uncertainty about my money. I have a family. I have kids. I have, they're like wanting it, but not willing to pull the trigger.
I just knew I had lived my life so long being unhappy and unfulfilled and always chasing the money and trying to hoard the money and worrying about the money. And I had made a decision that I was going to change who I was and change the way I was thinking, because I knew that was the problem. And it was immediate. It's like I didn't even have to think about it. I just knew. I was like, this is what I have to do. This is the universe telling me, because I just happened to look at your page on Facebook and I saw that your doors were open, and I was like, yes, click. I didn't even ask my husband. I told him later, and
you know what? I don't remember if it was you or not, but I get these messages at least, like, I would say 5 people who join each year. They would literally forward me something from their partner, and they'd be like, my husband is now so happy that I you know, because I am so much happier and more loving and I'm manifesting all this, but whatever, you know, like I think you posted that your husband didn't believe in this stuff. And then he was like,
Yeah.
"Hey, there might be something to, because when he got the job, right?
Yeah. Once, I mean, he lost his job. It's such a funny thing. Like I had the surgery and then he lost his job and he had already had some, freelance clients. So we had a couple of months and he had a severance and all this. And then we were kind of in a negative thought pattern together, and so the more I started talking about positive things and law of attraction, and the more I was learning, the more he was like, oh, and just we both started feeling really good at the same time. And then he had to start his own business because he lost his job, and that's what he really wanted to do anyway. I mean, it really was a miracle that he lost his job because he wouldn't have quit. He was so conflicted about it.
You had all the tools to recognize the divine, the gift in it. Instead of being like, great, now both of us are unemployed and we've got mouse, because most people would take it in the opposite way. And if they can't color that situation good, if they can't ascribe the good, they're not going to derive the good from it. It's like they slam that door shut, right? So now share, kind of summarize, because you've had some crazy manifestations. You are like
some awesome manifestations.
Right? So I want to see where you are now as a result of all these practices, and what are some of the things that you've lived?
Well, I mean, the biggest thing and the thing that people are, seem to be most interested in is that I manifested $1 million inheritance and, a piece of land that's worth a lot of money and that pays me money every month.
But by the way, you had no idea that had any.
I have no idea.
You had no idea that this.
No. I mean, farmland, because my grandparents were farmers and my uncle and dad have a farm. And, but my dad lived like he was the poorest man ever, like I really didn't think he had any money. And I figured I'd probably have to be taking care of him one day. And we weren't close. I didn't know about any of that. And I had been visualizing because I learned about visualization through the Mila group. And I'd been just having this fun little vision of $1 million in my bank account. And my vision was that it would come through my business. Like my husband and I are like, yeah, we did it. High five. There's $1 million in our bank account. We're awesome. We made it, and then 6 months later, I find out that I inherit $1 million, like $1.25 million, and it's, it's kind of interesting because I could sell the land and have that money, but it also, there's, I get some oil checks and things like that. There's some royalties that come from that. And it's been amazing. And, my dad had some money in his checking account. And so I've been able to, continue. Like I tested, I'm a jewelry designer and I've never, ever, ever followed my passion. I've done like 7 different careers. I have 3 degrees. I do, I've done everything to try to make other people happy or please other people or do like what society wanted me to do, when really in my heart, I just wanted to be an artist and I just wanted to make jewelry. And this opportunity came up to have this little space in my arts community, and it's super cheap rent, and it's a storefront, it's just right on this Paseo Drive is what it's called, and busy little arts district. And I have a little jewelry shop now. I have my own business. And I mean, it's just amazing. I never would have imagined that, I could go from being this like out of work nurse, being down and out, to having my dream career. Do I make as much money as I did as a nurse? No, but I'm happy. And I know I will eventually, and more.
And heal your body, because that was a big thing. This is the sticking point for a lot of people. They're like, well, I have this chronic whatever, right? So they'll show up like, I have a chronic. We had one in the academy, Claudia, right, who had a skin condition that was quite debilitating. She couldn't go out in public, and she healed it through self-love. And I think about her post, and I still like, don't you just get tingles all over, because it was so powerful.
Amazing.
You realize that she had put so much pressure on herself and all of this family stuff that ended up all coming to the surface when the skin condition got bad enough. And she made the pivot to actually do the practices that we talk about and to love herself through it. And then the condition went away, but she got so much out of it that she was blessing the condition that she had her whole life. I mean, that kind of stuff I just get so excited about. So for you to heal your body, to start to feel good in your body again, right? That's huge, because that's every day.
Yes. And I had 6 years of chronic pain, you know, before that. And it's just exhausting and depressing. And, you know, to now feel like I just didn't listen to my body. I've learned since, like, if I need to rest, I rest, and I don't feel guilty. You know, those are the things that help me heal my body. Just, you know, not feeling guilty and listening and knowing. You know, you have that inner knowing, or I do, and I didn't pay attention to it for so long. And that's why I manifested all of these, you know, physical ailments, and, you know, they just add up over time. But it ended up being the best thing ever, because by not being able to work, I was able to, you know, manifest my dream career. And I've manifested money out of nowhere. Like, one day I just thought, I wish I just didn't have to work for money. And then the bank calls me and said, oh, by the way, there's this old account that you have. Here's $800. I mean, and then that same day or the next day, I mean, it was just incredible.
Yeah, I remember I've had that happen so many times. For some reason, for me, it's like there was a lawsuit that, like, your cell company that used 10 years, like, I will get money randomly, checks in the mail or whatever. I'm just like, I didn't even remember having these accounts, having this, you know. It's so, it becomes so fun, because you feel like every day you're like, ooh,
what's gonna happen?
What's coming next, right? Right?
Yeah, absolutely.
I want you guys to, we could talk forever about this stuff, right? But I want to make sure that I pull up Jennifer. It's kind of funny. We have Jen and Jennifer. And I want you guys to think about, if you have questions specifically for either Jen or Jennifer, also ask them, because they might be able to respond even better than I would about some of these things, right? So I'm going to now pull up, let's see, Jennifer. There you are.
Happy to be here.
Hey, we can see you, hear you. Perfect.
Perfect.
Yeah,
I'm so happy to be here. Oh my gosh.
It's like so fun for us to hang out. This is something else that I'm not announcing, like, publicly, but as far as today, there is a plan for us to have a live event in October. I'm actually going to look at venues. So when you join the Academy, because people keep asking to meet live, because we hang out like this, right, during the calls, and people are like, I want to meet you and hug you. So if you join the Academy, I'm only going to do the private 2-day event for the people in the Academy. So it's another bonus. I don't have it listed as a bonus, because I feel like I first need to find the venue and book it. But you guys, this venue, get ready to be on the beach in California, and it's gorgeous. So I don't want to give too much away. Anyway, I want to hang out more with Jennifer and hear about why you joined. And you're an interesting person, because, like, I'm like Jen, you have done so much of this self-work. You've worked with a gazillion coaches and workshops and books, and, like, you were very well versed in this, which is always really exciting to me, because it's like something made you decide to join instead. You know, Rumi has this quote, sell your cleverness and purchase bewilderment. Like, don't be so smart, get curious. And so that's why I keep investing in programs, right? That's my version of Rumi's quote.
No, I love that you said that, because of course you would, because I have a story that I was going to tell you, and it involves curiosity. So of course you would say something about being curious. Well, it is true that, like, I have had lots of coaches, and but oh my gosh, when you started popping up in my newsfeed, and I think I might have subscribed to your newsletter or something, and I thought, I've got to pay attention to this woman. She's so sparkly. And for me, I wasn't in a particularly negative place or anxious place or depressed place, but I just wanted to see how much happier could I get. Like, how can this day get even better than it already is, right? Like, that's what I wanted. So what I love so much about the Master Your Life Academy is that even though I have been studying this and practicing this for 10 years probably, I'm human and I forget, right? Like, I get caught up in my daily life, and I have to be reminded, stop and take a breath, or, you know, you're resisting everything that you want in this moment. Like, just take space and allow. And what Master Your Life Academy does is it gives me this automatic touchstone where every day, if I want, I can be a part of a group where everyone is supporting me. And even if I'm experiencing something celebratory or something that's a contrasting experience, I have just love and an outpouring of advice, and it's so beautiful. So
I want to ask this because I forgot to mention with Jen. Like, you think, let's say you actually have a manifestation like her and you inherit $1.25 million. Are you going to go and post about it on Facebook? Are you just going to, you know what I mean? To have a safe community where you can share this and feel like people don't want anything from you. They're not going to judge you. They're just going to be like, woohoo, you did it. Yeah. You know, like, that's
so true.
You know, people think that like support means that you come and share your pain, but a lot of times it's the upper limit stuff. Like, I had the best month of my life, for example, and even that feels vulnerable to share with certain people or just publicly in general, right? So to have a place where you know you're going to be uplifted and celebrated.
Oh, absolutely. 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 So today I have this little story. So I tend to be pretty scheduled, right? Like, I have my calendar and I have my to-do list and I like checking things off. And I knew that this webinar was at 2 Central Standard Time. We talked about it yesterday on our call, and I have it written in my calendar, webinar with Lana at 2. And I woke up this morning thinking it was at noon. So I had my whole day planned out, right? Like, you know, my nice little calendar. And at 10 till 12, I'm texting Jen Woods, who is my alignment buddy, and Lana is brilliant at matching alignment buddies. So if y'all have a chance to take advantage of that, please do, because Jen has become one of my very best friends. She's just amazing. I'm texting her. I'm like, where is everyone? And she's like, girl, it's at 2 o'clock. And I wrote, fuck. I like in all caps, like in a text back. I was like, what the hell? Like, my whole day is planned. I have writing I want to do. I have a date tonight. I want to get a pedicure. Like, and then I was like, oh, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I can just be curious. I mean, there's a reason why this, I don't know what it is, but there's a reason why this happened. And if I stop being cranky about it and I don't resist it, and instead I just look at what it can bring me. So I had a marvelous 2 hours. I went on a walk with my beagle, and I stepped outside. The sky was gorgeous and blue. And the first song that came on my little Pandora station was Allman Brothers' Blue Sky, which was funny. And everyone was smiling at me on my walk. And I came home and had a nourishing lunch. And it was magical. And you know what? Maybe I'll get my pedicure and maybe I won't, but it doesn't matter because I feel good.
You know,
like in the moment.
See, I geek out on stuff like that because people are like, okay, so what? She had a nice fucking 2 hours. You know, it's easy to dismiss that. But the rest of your day is now unfolding in that reality. In a different reality.
Yes.
Day to night, different reality. You know what I mean? Like,
absolutely.
This is what it's like. How do you explain to people that when you shift, you literally shift the rest of your life?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I was doing my morning practice, and for those of y'all who don't know about this, in the foundation course, Lana has all of these amazing tools that she'll give you to start doing every morning that really sets a perfect tone for your day. So I was doing this visualization, and I said out loud, doing what feels resonant in the moment is the path to what I want. And I was like, I mean, I know this, but it was still like a light bulb went off. And I just thought, yes, like doing what feels resonant in the moment. And all that love and that savoring and that moment spills over into the rest of my day. It impacts all of my interactions with my son, with the guy I'm going on a date with, the people who read my books, the girls I teach in my writing workshops.
It ripples out to everything.
It ripples out. And people say, you know, people who haven't seen me in a while say, I don't know what you're doing, but you are just so lit up. And I'm like, it's my it's Lana.
That's what I'm doing.
Exactly.
Well, and you had, I don't know if you want to share any details, but you had a really cool manifestation about the surgery. You don't have to tell them what kind of surgery if you don't want to, but with the experience that you had, I just think that was so cool because it's one of those frivolous things, but it's not frivolous because it impacts your everyday, right? I don't know. You don't have to share super details.
You know,
Yeah.
It's so funny. It's so funny because as soon as you said that, I have to say, I immediately thought you were talking about my brain surgery, because 15 years ago when I was pregnant with my son, I had brain surgery. I had a brain tumor. It was benign and I'm totally fine and it was miraculous. And I realized that part of why I have no repercussions from that, except the kind of fun anecdote that I tell, is because I believe that I live a charmed life. Like, I just believe it. I just assume that good things are going to happen to me. So yes, I did have this little thing that I wanted to do last summer, and I didn't know. I just was curious about it. Wouldn't it be nice if this thing happened? Wouldn't it be nice if it was free? And it was just, yeah, it was, the whole experience was just one more free thing, one more gift after another, to the point where day of, I was like going out to lunch with my mom at my favorite restaurant. It was just beautiful. And that happens for me all the time. Like, every day is magical. Like, it truly is. It truly is.
Well, and you're the queen of fun ways of manifesting money. And I remember I love my group because I show up and I sometimes have resistance. And when we manifested the payout for our other house, I remember talking to you because we couldn't find a new place. And you're like, I got a payout for my house. And this is what happened. And your story fed me.
Yes.
It fed that sense
yes.
of possibility.
Oh.
Now here we are at our beach pad, right?
Exactly.
This is what the thing about the Academy, you guys, it's not just me. And I wish I could pull up everybody on to show you that I am a teacher among teachers. I am a leader among leaders. I am a wise person among other wise women, mostly some men. We have a few men that we adore for the masculine energy. But you know, it really is this circulation of energy, and it's a tide that lifts all boats for all of us. So I want to, somebody else said that she had brain surgery for a tumor 3 years ago. So I'm really relating. And Jennifer, somebody's asking, Michelle, how do you sign up for your writing workshop? So you have
awesome.
Let me just give them a shout out. I should have been wearing the earrings. Jen Woods makes the most amazing jewelry. You got to check out her site. Jennifer Ritz has really awesome books that I love, and I can't wait to read her next one. When is that coming out? You don't have a
at some point within the year. I don't have a date yet, but it's called Slow Burn.
So this is the thing too, is you get to meet so many cool people they're doing cool shit in their lives. You know? I don't know how else to say it. If you have questions specifically for Jennifer Ritz or Jen Woods, please ask. I'm going to open it up to questions. Thank you, girls. I'm going to change the focus back to my screen. So if you guys have questions about anything that I said, if you want to get some support, this is the time. Type your questions. And while the questions are coming in, I got notes from my assistant that we have a bunch of people signing up for the Academy right now. We have Marie, we have Nikki, we have Leslie, we have Brooke. She's typing more names. Welcome, guys. Welcome, 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 welcome. I am visioning you, manifesting not just the dreams that you have for yourself currently, but up-leveling to bigger dreams, bigger possibilities, more sparkliness, as Jennifer Ritz likes to say, more sparkle in your life, more ease, more fun, more joy. So questions. Okay, they're coming in. Shari is saying, feeling like I'm hiding is a huge issue for me. Oh my God, Shari, we have Ali in our academy who just posted in the Manifesting Master Circle group where she said, I was like hiding, and I'm actually like was a little nervous to show up in the group, or a lot nervous, because I feel like this whole visibility piece was a huge one for her. And we love loving people up in this way. And she's really soared in her life. It's amazing. So you're saying, I keep jumping from job to job because I'm avoiding what I want most, to sing and work with teenage girls and women in body connection workshops. How do you take the leap, being able to differentiate between forced action and inspired action? If it's not a hell yeah, it's a no for now. Simple. If it's not like if I was thinking this morning, I don't really know if I want to do this webinar, I would have canceled it. I would have. Why would I do it? It was a hell yeah. Like, oh my God, is it time yet? Is it time yet? Is it now? Is it now? Let's go. So I got my nanny involved this morning. I was like, let me run through my notes for the webinar. I just couldn't wait to do it. If it's not, so this is the thing, is people don't trust when it's a no for now. So if it's a no for now or a maybe, that means you got some inner alignment work to do before you take that action. Hopefully that answers your question. Okay, Dasha is saying, can we hear some words about how to motivate and inspire yourself to do these practices? Sometimes it's not that easy, and I guess you know what I'm talking about. I don't believe in motivation. I believe in it being, it would be like me asking you, well, sometimes you might not feel like eating, right? What would inspire you to eat more frequently and better food? Make better food. You know what I mean? Have things that you actually want to eat, right? And then I feel like a lot of it is actually having the normalcy around it. So when you join the academy, it's normal that everyone's talking about their daily practice. It's normal that somebody's saying, here's how I stopped, dropped, and realigned. And it pops up in your Facebook feed, right? Because it's a Facebook group. You get the weekly emails that we have for Mila, where you see the shout outs of the things that people did. You can't hide from it anymore. Even if you forget for a week, you're gonna get back into it because it's gonna be all around you all the time. That would be my recommendation, Dasha. Let's see what else you guys are saying. Oh my God, more people are signing up. If you signed up right now, shout out your name so I can give you a special Lana love. Arun is saying, I have a question. Are there any experiments that we could do which tells us what do we actually want in life? Yes, Arun, that would be the do and don't exercise that you just did. If you know what you don't want, you know what you do want. But actually the first week in the foundation course, we have the Wheel of Life exercise that helps you identify where you are out of balance. We have the formative life experience exercise. Take me too long to describe all these to you. We have the core desired feelings exercise. We have, I can't remember now all the ones that are in that first week, but you have like 5 or 6 exercises to identify what you actually want, because that's like 90% of it, is to actually know what you want and give yourself permission to want it. Not necessarily the specific things, but the actual things that matter to you. Like some people say, well, I want money so that I can prove the people in my life that I'm successful. Well, why do you want that? Well, because I never felt good enough. Well, so you want it to feel good enough. That's what you actually want. Or a lot of times people want money, they think it's freedom, but it's actually a sense of safety. Like, oh, like it's okay. Like I don't have to run and be crazy, right? So we have a question from Trini. What situations are really bad? And happy people say it's fake and show that I'm heartless to do this. People to accept you sad more than happy. Honestly, Trini, I went through a stage like that. It's so much rarer now, but it mirrored back to me where I wasn't accepting myself in my sad place. And so of course I was manifesting situations where other people were like, you can't be this, and they were getting triggered. And it was a mirror back to me that I've got to embrace these parts of myself. I've got to allow myself to be happy and really accept that it's okay, it's healthy, it's natural. And if anyone doesn't like it, they don't have to look at me. Turn the other way, you know what I mean? Once I accepted it, those people were no longer really triggering in my life. Triggered or triggering. Michelle is saying, how do you make a decision between a few things and how to know which one is best for me? Honestly, Michelle, you have to listen. You have to actually turn up the volume on your desires. You've got to quiet down enough to hear. I promise you, that voice is there speaking. That's a part of what Jen Woods was saying. She's like, I just wasn't listening. I didn't know how to listen to my body. Like, what the hell does that even mean? Step by step in the Master Your Life Academy, I show you how to start listening to your body and recognize what it's actually telling you. Once you hear it, you've got to listen and actually implement it in your life. Why would your inner guidance keep talking to you when you keep ignoring it? It just gets quieter and quieter, and the voice is just, so we're going to turn up the volume on that. Let's see. Mill is saying, Mill, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing your name right. I hope I'm doing it right. When I do visualizations, I find it difficult to really feel that I am really in that situation. I love that. I love it when people say that. It's like my brain knows I'm faking. How do I allow the real feeling? You have got to find, most people try to visualize it like a movie, right? They're like, I'm going to imagine from the beginning to the end, and they have a bunch of scenes and there's people moving. I recommend visualizing a moment in time. Like the moment after lovemaking when you're laying there and you're like, oh, Go to that moment. You know what I mean? Not everything that happened to get you there, to that moment, to that feeling. When I think about my births and my kids, I go back to the feeling with the twins and with my baby, when I'm holding the baby after and I'm looking at this baby and I am just like, like, you're here. I did it. Like, look at your little fingers and toes. You smell so good, and you barely open. Like, I go to the moment. The feeling is so accessible in that moment. So hopefully that helps. Jen actually just responded and said she used to manifest people who were negative and brought out the worst in me. When I began to upgrade my life, they were hateful and mean, and she let them go. And I bet a lot of them have also come back in some other ways because they're like, hey, what are you having? I actually want what you're having, right? Michaela just signed up. Woohoo! Awesome. Welcome. I'm so excited to welcome you in the Master Your Life Academy. I wish I had like champagne glass to toast. Let's see. Marie, see you in the course. Yes, another person joined. I might be missing some questions. Oh, what is the secret to self-love? That's a good one. The secret to self-love is to love the resistance. Is to love the parts of you that feel judged or are judging. Is to see, resisting those parts of you that you don't like only adds to the resistance. Loving the things about yourself and the part, and then people will be like, well, how do I love the fact that I'm 200 pounds? Or how do I love the fact that I really hurt somebody badly? How do I love the fact that I might have an addiction or whatever? And it's like, you don't have to love it, meaning want it again in your life. You just need to accept that it is there for your stepping stone to the next place. That it is your trampoline. And if you're on a trampoline, you're not crying each time you go down because you know you're going to bounce back up, right? You're like, wee, the whole time. That's a part of that self-love. It's got to be broad enough to embrace all of you and all of life. And you are not a one-trick pony. You're not a one-dimensional smiley face sticker. You know what I mean? Okay. Let's see, what else are we saying? You guys, there's so much I want to tell you. We are already over time. Join the Master Your Life Academy. I will answer your questions there. That's what I can tell you. I want to announce the winners, you guys. We had, I think, over 20 people, could have been 25, I can't remember, submit their applications, which is awesome, right? They just had to do the 7-day Manifest Miracles Challenge and submit. And I have a very intuitive process of picking the winners. So are you ready to hear the winners? And let me tell you what they won. They won a membership in the Master Your Life Academy, right? That's worth $2,000, right? Or $2,200, depending on how you're paying for it. They want a private mastermind session with me. So the 3 winners and I are going to meet sometime in March after they finish the foundation course. And we are actually going to mastermind. And there's so much that I could talk about masterminding. That's a whole other thing. That is thousands of dollars typically for people. I'm giving that to you. They're getting a personal gift from me in the mail, something I'm actually sending, and they get to be matched up with an amazing alignment buddy. So so by the way, if you submitted your application and you are not one of the winners, go and check your email because there's something else that we're going to send you to thank you for doing this challenge and for submitting your application. The 3 winners, guys. Are you ready? Drum roll. Tiffany Howard. You won! Bianca LA, you won! And Teresa Madrone, you won! Those are our 3 winners. Tiffany, Bianca, and Teresa. Woohoo! I feel like I need like sound effects to like, you know, clapping and stuff going on. So I'm so excited for you guys. You're gonna get an email. If you don't see it, email us, please. You guys, before I give you the gift, the money tree meditation, I just want to tell you that if you've made it through this whole webinar, I trust that your life has changed in some way. And I would love to know what you took away from this webinar. What's one thing that you took away that you can practice, right? And the meditation that I'm giving you, I recommend that you practice it every day for the next 5 days. And it will create more financial abundance enough. I have no doubt about that. I don't know how, I don't know how much, I don't know when, I don't know in what way, but I know it will. And if you see any evidence of financial abundance from this meditation, I hope you take it as a sign that you've got to join the Academy. It's life telling you, yes, go for it. Invest in yourself. Trust that this is going to pay off in so many expected and unexpected ways. And the link is below. If you have any questions about anything, you can always email my team, info@LanaSchlafer, anything about the Academy specifically. If you've loved this webinar, please share it with your friends. You can share the link, LanaSchlafer.com/masterclass, and they can still catch the replay until Tuesday night, until January 31st. All right, I think I'm ready to give you the link for the meditation, right? So in order to get your free meditation, your money tree visualization, go to LanaSchlafer.com/money tree. And I'm going to type it up over here so that you have the link to download it. And I hope you enjoy it and it blesses you in many, many ways in your life. So what Rachel said she got is that to visualize a moment that incorporates all of the things that you want. Yes. So many of you are posting that the discussion was useful to you. And let's see, what else are you saying? A miracle, to seek miracles on a daily basis. I love that. If that's what you took away, that miracles are available to you, my job is done. Thank you guys so much for being here and for taking the time to be here. I can't express to you how much I love doing this, how I know that the seeds are planted in your life, that whether you join the Academy or not, those seeds are planted and they're now going to blossom into amazing, amazing fruit in your life that you are going to enjoy. I hope to see many, 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 many of you in the Master Your Life Academy. Make sure you sign up before Friday at midnight, let's say, because I can't remember the deadline, so that you can get an alignment buddy. That's a huge bonus, huge, huge, huge bonus. And make sure you sign up now. Don't wait till next year to be living these dreams. Don't wait till next year to be happy. Don't wait till next year to experience great love within yourself and in your life. Thank you guys so much. Infinite blessings to you. And I will see you soon. Mwah.